Welcome back to Open Up. I'm Tina Miller.
Don Clark here. Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Happy St. Patty's Day, and especially you folks in Boston.
Oh,
I got a heart for Boston, living there 10 years.
Of course you do, Don. Don, I'd like to welcome our guests for the first time, David and Harriet Hupp from Santa Maria.
Santa Maria. Let's
Welcome.
say
You've
got a book percolating in your mind, and boy, these are the folks to take care of it.
Yes.
Tell us about what you guys are doing. This is exciting.
Mm-hmm. Well, you want to speak right into the microphone,
David,
please.
Get right up in the mic.
We're in business to help individuals and ministries with their information for their churches. There's different types of what the Christians call tracts that you can pass out. We'll put the person's name and address on the back so it makes it personal. And so we do gospel tracts, flyers. We do
books. Do I see
soft books? Mm-hmm. Booklets that are testimonial type booklets. Hope for the Homeless Youth is one of the places in Los Angeles that we work with. And this is like a Bible study that they use to help with the street kids and.
Let me take a look at that one.
Yeah. That's the kind of book I want, the softback. Okay. So talk to us about how you got started. How did, this is your ministry. How did you get started in this?
Well, when I was born and my scientist, inventor dad wasn't looking, my grandmother laid hands on me and dedicated me to God. And so I've had this insatiable call to do something with my life. At age 17, I bought a mimeograph machine, a hand crank one from Sears, and began printing things for locally. And then in 1981, two tabletop printing presses were given to me to use, and I was able to start printing for the Rose Bowl game and the Rose Parade through Sonderberry Young Ministries. And then I started working at City College and made my living in printing for 15 years and took 9 graphic arts courses with A grades. And then in about the year 2000, I was gifted with tens of thousands of dollars worth of equipment. And
you were
later
gifted with it?
Gifted with it. And then later on, before my dad was going to die of pancreatic cancer, he paid for the remodel of a Quonset hut on the ranch. And he said we wouldn't have to pay rent or utilities for as long as we wanted to use a Quonset hut. And he wasn't in favor of this whole thing at the beginning, but after he accepted Jesus into his heart, he had a change of heart.
Wow.
Wow.
And so how has this business impacted your community and the state and even the nation?
Well, first of all, we came here to Bakersfield for 2 purposes, and we came to deliver this booklet called How to Be More Than a Conqueror, and make new ones of those. And that this is a compilation of scripture verses that tell you, based on the Bible, that you can be an overcomer.
I think I remember who did
that. I'd like to share one more story.
The husband of someone sitting next to me here.
Yes. Now, what is this, David?
Our real desire would be, since it costs more to ship things overseas now than it does to print them. Our real desire was to start a website, which we did, and post all these documents we create, ours and others, on the website, and then people from other countries that are printers will take these things and utilize them. So a man emailed us named Dinesh from Nairobi, Kenya, and he said, I saw your Who is Jesus tract on the website, and I would like permission to make some copies.
Wow.
So he took his spare money as best he could and went to a local printer and had 576 copies made, and he began to pass them out, and he was surprised at the reception. And this one man named David Williams, he had verbally abused Christians for 20-some years, and his mother had died when he was 3 years old, and he was known as the charcoal man in the town, and he was very outspoken about things, and he just gave Christians a hard time. And somebody approached him giving one of these tracts, and he said, how can I really know that this God you're talking about really loves me? And they showed him the love of God. He prayed the prayer in the tract, asked Jesus into his heart, and now he emailed us, and not independent of Danish, and he said, I received this tract, my life has changed, I just wanted to let you people know. And so I connected him and Danish together, and Danish printed more tracts in their native language of Swahili, Yesu ni nani, and now David Williams is also passing out the tracts.
Wow.
What a story.
So you are operating out of Santa Maria. You are a global
Yes.
outreach.
Yeah.
Impacting nations.
The books we have here today, this is Roy Cipher. He's a missionary. He does home churches all around the United States and in countries. He was in the military as a medic, and so he helps with Point Man Ministries.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And then he goes to countries like Africa, Pakistan, does the big crusades there. And so he found about us when he was in Africa. He was talking to some other missionaries that knew who we were, and he contacted us. Now we're best friends, and we do a lot of his publishing.
And what does it cost to do a book like this? Can you give an example or
Well,
some estimate or idea?
Somewhere's around $7 to $10.
A book?
A book.
Uh-huh.
We like to make like 500 minimum.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So, but
That sounds good.
we also do make it into an ebook.
Oh.
So that if you went through Amazon or something like that,
Right, yes,
we would
of
be
course.
able to know how to set it up so you could submit it through that way.
Yeah, we have some pictures. Now, what we're seeing on the screen right now is actually the cover of your book, David. Tell us about that.
Yes, I started this book in 2009 as an appreciation for all the help people have given me throughout the years. Now we're working on our March latest edition, which will be digitized or PDF interactive, and it has all kinds of connects to the internet to details about things mentioned in the book.
Excellent.
Why Santa Maria? Why did you choose that city?
Well, his family property where the Quonset hut is, where we have the big presses and all of that kind of work.
And we're looking at the presses and the
Yeah.
machinery here on the
Okay,
screen. What's that?
That's the Quonset hut with folders, printers,
Bookmaking machine.
yeah. And
That's your place
That's
of
of our
business
place of
and
work.
what you work.
Okay.
Okay. And there you are, Harriet.
I'm
assembling books and
assembling
things?
something on a little booklet maker. Yeah.
So let's say I have a 200-page book and I want 500 copies. What's that cost me?
Oh. 200 pages, huh?
Uh-huh.
Well, I would say it could be $7 or so a book. It's a real skill. I've had people that I do books for come and help. I'll say, I'll let you do one, and you see how it works. And they run it through the book perfect binder,
Right.
and they're going along, and it grinds off the spine, and then it comes over to glue it on, and they pull it out wrong, and it's the reject. So it's
Yeah.
Wow.
And also our cost would have to do if it's in black and white or if
Oh,
it's
or
in
in color.
colors.
Okay, yes, I
Yeah.
guess that would make a
So-
difference too.
yeah.
Yeah.
We do full color on a laser printer, and we do black and white, 2-color, 1-color on a big printing press.
Okay, and here's how people can contact you. HIS Print Media Ministries, Post Office Box 62112, Santa Barbara, California 93160. No, they live in Santa Maria.
Yeah, we
And
live
the
in
mail,
Santa Maria.
The mail comes to Santa Barbara.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes, and telephone number 805-452-5150, and the website is Tracks4U, that's the number 4 and the letter U.com, or info@tracks4u.com. Wonderful. Anything
Yeah.
else you'd like to say before we get ready to close out? Tell us about...
You asked about Santa Maria. we met 6 years ago. The Lord put us together. I had been doing a lot of desktop publishing for ministers,
Oh.
and he had the booklet makers. So the woman that I was working for, she says, would you get a hold of David Hupp? I had been widowed for 6 years. I had been married for 39.
Oh.
And so anyway, but I'd been always working through churches and administrator
Wow.
assistants and those kind of things. And it just worked out really well. So he ended up getting a wife and a worker too.
A matched pair.
A matched pair.
You bet.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you two so very much for
This was a pair printed in heaven.
That's
oh,
right.
Don,
Yeah.
a pair printed
Printed
in
in heaven. Yeah,
That's
he's my
beautiful.
Prince Charming.
Yes. Thank you.
Charming.
David,
Prince
Harriet,
Charming.
thanks for being with us.
Yes, thank you
Great.
so very much.
Oh, up next.
Coming up
I
next,
mean,
Don, we're going to close out the show with a bang, and it's all dressed in red. So-
Boy, it's an explosion of the most dynamic woman.
yes.
I tell you.
She Power
Fabulosity.
Ambassador, and that's Arlena Waller coming up next.